You ever heard of been on the dark web?
I
You
have
ever
not
gone to like
been on
Cirque
it.
Road? One day, listen, I almost have the garage ready. We're gonna get one of those screens behind us where we go boop, 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 type up a bunch of
That
stuff.
I would like.
Next thing you know, we're gonna have like a Bitcoin factory over here, and we're just gonna start sending stuff to people in digital currencies. Listen, everyone has an asshole dog. That's just the truth. If you have a dog, they're about 85 to 90% good, and they have these flaws. We're supposed to be talking about my wife, and how come now it's my dog? You know, I saw.
Well, hello.
Dimey, please don't trip over that thing. Yeah, so you're talking about having the kids.
Yeah.
Is this one of those conversations that you have, like you're sitting down, you're having dinner, glass of wine. Hey, honey, what do you think about having another kid?
It's more like when the kid's having a meltdown.
Oh, you want another one?
And then my wife will look at me like, yeah, you want another one? I'm like, yeah. Then I get the death stare. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go over here now.
Don't worry, when they're 18, it's all done with.
Yeah, oh, yeah, sure.
No, that's actually probably when the real fun begins.
Yeah.
Dad, accidentally.
Yeah, no, accidentally. Because then I'll accidentally squeeze this trigger at somebody. Oops. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so talking about it's on the table. Maybe, maybe not. Any plan, or is it just going to happen?
Nah, I'm going to wing it.
That's the best way to go.
Yeah.
This planned pregnancy stuff, that's no fun.
That's kind of, it turns into like a
project.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, here's my calendar.
Yeah. Like, okay, we have these specific dates here, and let's, and you're like, well, why do we have to do it like that?
Yeah. Me and the wife just said, listen, we're having a kid. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that was it.
It happens when it happens.
And it happens when it happened.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, it always happens literally within a week of saying, okay, let's have a kid.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still one of those things where I don't, the whole planning of it, that portion of it kind of takes away from the fun of like, just like, oh, we're pregnant.
Yeah. You get the...
Yeah.
You get what is it, the EPT?
Yeah.
Hey, honey, here you go.
So we went to get food with my parents, and my dad and I got bombed, right? So then I come back to the house, and we're sitting there, and I'm watching TV, and she comes out of the corner of the room, and she's like, hey, I'm like, what's up? And she's like, I got to talk to you about something. And I look, I'm like, what is that? And she's like, pregnancy test. And I'm like, why the f*** are you holding a pregnancy test? And I went back to watching TV. And she's just standing there like, hey, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden it was like, wait.
Power up.
That, you sure? Yeah. How sure are you? It's like, well, I took 2. I'm like, well, is there any more in the box? She's like, no. I'm like, I'll be back. So I ran to the store and got more. I'm like,
you needed to check.
Yeah, I'm like, here, pee on this. It's like, and then it's like,
did you hold it for her while she peed?
no, that's awkward. And I'm like, well, there's 2 more tests in that box. She's like, Jake, I'm not doing 2 more of these things. There's 3 of them here. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just trying to make sure. And she's like, 3 of them.
They were right.
Yeah, they're right.
I wasn't bombed when I got the first one. I got a Christmas Day present. So that was cool because the first kid's always more exciting.
Yeah.
And the second one's like, oh, cool, congratulations, here's a kiss. Hey, you want a glass of wine? Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
But it's exciting as well. We were going to wait to see if the gender reveal thing was going to be do we keep it? But she surprised me, and it's a girl. So you know what that means? Every time I have a girl, I have to buy 2 guns.
I like the math there.
So there you go. 1 girl, 2 guns. 1 boy, 1 gun.
No, well, you can't do that because you got to get one for him too.
So maybe it should be 3 guns per girl.
And 2 per boy.
2 per boy.
I think
1 for you, 1 for him.
And
for the girl, 3 for you.
None for her.
Those guys that are having like 6 girls, you got a freaking arsenal. They should at least.
They should.
Yeah. Well,
at that point, you just start like hiding them in different parts of the house and not tell anybody that they're there.
Oh yeah, like the secret picture frame.
Yeah, the secret picture frames, or you start cutting drywall and then you replace it with like real, like 1/4-inch drywall.
So you just punch through the wall.
Punch through the wall and grab it and go. You
have your lamp. It's
just sitting under there. Except when you turn it on, you just see the shadow of it just sitting there, and you're like, huh? Oh, that's a new light bulb. Don't worry about that.
That'd be kind of funny.
A lot like a revolver. No, it's just a new light bulb.
The lampshade gun concealer kit.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys can buy that on our website. We're charging like $3,000 for it.
Yeah.
We haven't created it yet, but if you want it, let us know. We'll whip one up.
Gun not included.
Yeah, gun not included. We'll sell you a lampshade for $3,000.
A lampshade, and it's just gonna have 2 hooks.
Dimey, can you please not walk in front of the thing that's gonna trip over and smash the camera?
Right.
All right, so You get see? Damn me! This week I've been told that I drink too much.
I think that happens every time though when they're not drinking.
Oh yeah, when they're not pregnant,
You know what I
they're
mean?
basically a little bit jealous that they can't have any
That's
alcohol.
exactly what it is.
So therefore, it's now
I've come to that realization. You really should slow down on your drinking. I'm like, well, I haven't changed my drinking intake at all.
It's the same.
It's been exactly the same. Well, no, now I just really am noticing it. Yeah, because you want to and you can't. Mm-hmm. It was kind of like when my wife got pregnant, I couldn't eat sushi. And I'm like, I don't see why I can't. That's got nothing to do with me.
But Jake, you have to suffer too.
Yeah, and she's like, well, no, if I can't eat it, then you can't. I'm like, no. See, you can't eat it because it's not good for the baby. There's nothing that's not good for it about me.
It makes too much sense. Forget
Again,
about
we're
it.
going back to that should be the f***ing slogan for this show.
If it makes too much sense, you can't do it.
Can't do it.
There you go.
It's
There's
like-
our slogan. We've come to it organically.
It's like, but every time that happens, or like when the wife decides one night that she wants to act like she's 21 and drink 3 bottles of wine, and then she's hungover horribly the next day, and then swears off drinking for like a month.
We've all done that.
Yeah, but then that for some reason that turns into, well, I shouldn't drink for a month either.
No, that's your own problem.
And I'm like, well, I just had a few beers last night. I feel fine today.
Yeah. I had 6.
Yeah,
I feel
like,
fine.
There's no reason. I'm like, why did you drink 3 bottles of wine? What did you think was going to happen there? You know what I mean?
Alcohol does wonderful things.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, my roommate in college, he was kind of the same way, where he'd get snot-nosed drunk one night, and then all of a sudden he'd take 3 weeks off. And then I would come home from classes, and right when I walked in on the kitchen counter, there was 2 empty bottles of sake, and I'm like, oh, he's getting after it today. And then train wreck all day, horrible that night. Then all of a sudden the next day, he's just laying on the couch, and then no booze for 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden,
Right back
repeat
to
the
it.
process. I'd come home one day from classes, and there's an empty 5th of whiskey sitting there, and I'm like, dude, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I didn't go to class today. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. Like,
3 week cycle.
yeah,
for
I'm
him,
like,
huh?
what happened? He's like, I just felt like it. I'm like, okay, but if you would just pace yourself instead of being the guy who never goes for a run and then decides to
invite
go
some
for a
girls
marathon.
over to drink it with you.
Well, no, he's the guy who goes, I don't ever run.
But today I'm going to run a 20 mile.
But today, you know what? I got this wild hair in my ass. I'm going to run a marathon. They're good. You should do that. You should do 2 of them.
Yeah,
Have fun.
let me know how that feels tomorrow.
Yeah, and for the next 3 weeks, you can't walk correctly. It looks like you rode a f***ing bull. Go for it, dude.
Oh, well, there you go. There's our wife topic. So we love our wives. They haven't done anything really annoying besides we're just in trouble. It would be really kind of cool is if I was quarantined and sent somewhere, like on a fishing trip.
Like the middle of the woods?
Yeah, like a fishing trip. We got to get our hunting licenses here.